रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णा चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So we are reading from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. That is okay. I got live on YouTube also. So so it's 24th chapter 31st verse. रति लक्षण प्रेम लक्षण इत्यादि प्रचार भाव रूप महाभाव लक्षण रूप आर. Next are explained the symptoms of love of Godhead, which can be divided into 9 varieties, beginning with attraction and extending up to ecstatic love, and finally up to the topmost ecstatic love, Mahabhava. Shanta bhaktera rati bade prema paryanta dasya bhaktera rati haya raga dasa anta. So the 32nd, the attraction to Krishna of devotees on the platform of neutrality increases up to love of Godhead, prema, and the attraction of devotees on the platform of servitorship increases to spontaneous attachment, raga. So here, rati lakshana. So rati means attraction, prema, love, and so on are the symptoms of ecstatic love, which can be divided into 9 varieties. So, attraction to Krishna. So, we were having this discussion. I was having this discussion with one day when I gave a presentation on the universal creation. And in the universal creation, there is a, and I think we spoke here also on one of these calls also. And our in our discussion, we were talking about mode of goodness, and this nice devotee was beginning to argue with me, and he said, in the sense, he wanted to understand better, but sometimes the arguments can be tough. So his point was, oh, we should base everything on attraction to Krishna. So as far as my realization goes, until and unless one has a very deep realization in Krishna consciousness, in the sense you have served continuously, because the nature of the mind is fickle. We decide to do something, we decide to chant, we decide to do some tapasya, but it remains with us only for a short time. We take up some study of Bhagavatam or something, and everything we do remains for a short time. This, what happens is, because of our previously built up habits, anarthas and habits. So the simple example that I can give is, when we go to Braj, the first time I went to Vrindavan, and we were doing Govardhan Parikrama, and the dust of Braj, this was not sticking to your body. It was all. But whereas some of these Brijvasis, when they were doing Govardhan Parikrama, the dust would stick to their body. So one devotee told me, until and unless you are purified, the Braj Raj will not stick to you. So it will not stick to you. So we can see that when you practice over a period of time, very, very sincerely, and 2 things we have to do every day. That one is offenseless chanting, because only with offenseless chanting you become free from sin and a tendency to sin. Because what consists of Vaishnava Aparad is basically our tendency to enjoy. So we have in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, a devotee is expected to be non-envious. Now, why is devotee expected to be non-envious? Because what happens is we have these six enemies: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara. So Kama and Krodha. So Krodha includes Kama. So the next one includes the previous one. Lobha includes Kama and Krodha. Moha includes the previous three. Lobha includes the previous four. And Matsara, the enviousness, includes everything. So a devotee must start with at least the worst one. We should give up non-enviousness. So our attraction to Krishna can be disturbed if we do not give up enviousness completely. So if you want to cultivate your attraction to Krishna, we have to give up every form of enviousness. Oh, he has better association with Guru, he has this, he has that. We should simply and humbly accept any situation given, and we have to keep chanting. We have to accept every situation as mercy of Krishna. And when we do it with a sincere heart, only with sincere attitude, and we give up all enviousness. So the Srimad Bhagavatam proceeds in such a way that in the beginning you give up enviousness, because devotee is meant to be satam, he is non-envious. So then it is not that you have conquered lust. Lust means our desire apart from Krishna, because ultimate purification in the Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna consciousness is the purification of desire. Because our desire is what drives the body, desire is what drives the mind, desire is what drives our material life. But in Krishna consciousness, we cannot stop desire, but we can purify our desire by associating with the Mahatmas, by associating with great devotees of the Lord. And because their desire is only to follow the desire of Guru and desire of Krishna, and that is why in the liberated stage, the highest desire, highest point is to always follow the desire, we say desire of the heart, is to follow the desire of Guru, desire of our Paramatma within the heart. So desire of Guru, desire of Krishna, desire of Shastra. So attraction to Krishna becomes natural because Krishna is present in Guru, Krishna is present in Shastra, Krishna is present. So as Paramatma, he is in our heart. So Krishna purifies all the previous tendencies, from the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam to the 10th canto is a gradual purification of these six enemies: Kama, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mada, Matsar. But first you should give up enviousness, because enviousness, to give up Kama is not so easy. But at least you begin with becoming non-envious. You keep on training your mind, and then gradually what happens? As we study the Bhagavatam, as we purify our heart, as we purify our mind, all the other five enemies, they gradually go away. All the other enemies, they gradually are purified. And that is the goal of Krishna consciousness, to actually purify our tendencies and use them, and we need to use them in the service of Krishna. Like lust, how to use lust. So we should direct all our desires to, like yesterday in the Sunday Feast program in our temple, we were discussing, I was giving a class, and we were discussing the mood of how to dance in front of Krishna. So basically, if you realize that you are not alone, there is Radha and Krishna, and it is not that they are alone. So there are millions of gopis, millions of devotees, millions and billions of devotees from the spiritual world. They are present when Krishna is there. To have the ability and the eyes to see that, and to dance in a manner which is pleasing to them. Like I'm dancing not here to attract somebody's attention or something, but my entire consciousness is that of Krishna. And I'm thinking how by this activity I'm pleasing Krishna. How can I dance softly along with everybody with nice steps, just to please Krishna. The bhavana, the love, the intense love that we have. So everything that we do, when we do with sufficient education, so that is why there is Srimad Bhagavatam, and we can see that um, if we if we follow the devotion in a certain manner properly, and ensuring that we do not commit Vaishnav aparadhs, we ensure that we do not commit Vaishnav aparadh, and we are focused on our devotional service, then Prabhupada says over a period of time, naturally from the heart, all these activities will become natural. It will spring up from the heart. Your spiritual love, your spiritual activity will spring up from the heart. It will become natural to you. So, for something to become natural, for that love to spring from the heart, and I could feel in my own experience when I went to Vrindavan for the first time in 1999, and I'm sure many of you would have felt we were doing parikrama of Govardhan, and I was just beginning to chant at that time. And somehow from the heart, I felt I started chanting loudly, and I jumped on Govardhan. Somehow these feelings were overcome. But Krishna was giving us a trailer. And in the beginning, Krishna gives you a trailer how Krishna consciousness feels like. Because from your heart, you chant, and your heart is completely filled up with the holy name, with so much love, with so much emotion, and you feel so satisfied. This feeling of satisfaction, when it overwhelms you, actually we can see when the mind is depressed, that feeling overwhelms you, that takes over your body. So when your mind is ecstatic, even that feeling overwhelms you, it takes over your body. So we can really see that as we purify the heart, as we open the gates of the heart, we will see that our the anartha. So the distance between you and Krishna is your level of anartha. Because anartha means all those previous impressions. Although we may decide to become devotees, and we are chanting and we are practicing very sincerely, yet at the same time we should realize that there is a thick layer of anartha. Now this is gradually getting purified, and sometimes we may not even see the result for a long time. Yet if a devotee persists very seriously, very nicely, then you will see that all these symptoms then beginning to manifest automatically. So when somebody, we see, he was some kind of a simple devotee, and all of a sudden now he's like he's very famous and giving nice programs and everything. All of a sudden, it's not that it happened overnight. The sadhana was going on for long time, and at certain point in our devotional life, Srila Prabhupada says it begins to spring up. It begins to become automatic. Rati Lakshana, Prema Lakshana, Ityadi Prachara, Bhava Rupa, Mahabhava Lakshana Rupa Ara. And what are the symptoms of these love? Beginning with attraction. So attraction to Krishna. So attraction to, first of all, attraction to purity. So if we are attracted to purity, Krishna consciousness means the highest purity. So first we become conscious, and then we become Krishna conscious. So for our first attraction is the two things which Bhaktivinoda Thakur said is a direct result of Krishna consciousness, which is not found in any other philosophy. Jiver doya name ruchi. So Jiver doya. So first of all, we should have Jiver doya. Jiver doya means we should have compassion for the soul. So that should be our norm. So when we are developing that, instead somebody insulted you, now you are thinking of plotting the revenge. You can test yourself if you are progressing in bhakti with Jiver doya. So do you have Jiver doya? Have you developed compassion to the worst enemy? That is your real test. Because in naturally we see in our temples and even with our friends, after some time, if we are not following a very high standard of devotional, then our consciousness falls down to the least common denominator of whom we meet. then what happens? The material consciousness sinks in. If you are not taking higher association, if you are not cultivating yourself very strongly over a period of time, these lower modes take over, and then we go back into enviousness, anger, all these things. And we see in many places, devotee groups or temples, there are fights, there are groups, and then gradually the devotional creeper crashes, dies. So therefore, we should never let such a thing happen. At all cost, we should try to be very, very tolerant. So that is why it is said, Trinadapi Sunichena Taroriva Sahishnuna. Only if you are chanting with great humility and are tolerant to all insults. Mahabharata, it says, one who can tolerate the highest insult, he can achieve the greatest thing in life. So if you have cultivated yourself in such a way, because problems will come in all sorts. So yesterday I was shocked, day before yesterday, one young devotee from Detroit, he passed away, and it is such a pain for the parents to see such a thing happen, but it can shake faith. Sometimes such incidents can shake your faith. It's very, very tough, very, very difficult to really understand Krishna's plan. So I was giving the example of Arjuna and Abhimanyu to try to understand that devotee's situation, because Abhimanyu was the son of Soma, was the son of moon god, although he was son of Arjuna. So moon god told Krishna, I cannot separate from my son for a long time for your Lila. So give him a short life. So he gave him a short life, and he died at the age of 16, but he died as a Parakrami. And short but sweet but wonderful, cheerless life. So similarly, all of us have destined, we have certain time limit. So life and energy is limited. So there is no time to bicker over. There is only time, every moment. If you are thinking 24 hours, your attraction should be, how can I chant offenselessly? How can I hear and read Srimad Bhagavatam continuously? Have we studied this Bhagavatam systematically? What is the purpose of opening a temple? Is only to chant offenselessly, to keep ourselves free from sin, just like water on a lotus leaf. We should keep ourselves unattached to this material world, and that can only happen when all the sinful desires in the heart. So that is why you need a daily shower. So 16 is minimum, but it should be chanted offenselessly. So when we do this over a period of time, and when the holy name overwhelms the heart, and all these, like Jayapataka Maharaj said, it is not that all these anarthas are completely gone away, but they become completely, insignificant. And when they reach the point of insignificance, then the greater love of Krishna, the holy name, can act as per it wants. So now it wants the act, but the anartha is so much. And sometimes we feel we are chanting, there is no effect. So it is within us. And to the degree you are serious. So we see that Jayananda Prabhu, for example, Prabhupada's time, night he was driving taxi, daytime he was building cars, doing temple service. They were in a hurry, they were in an urgency to really achieve the love of God, to please Prabhupada. So if we should develop that sense of urgency, that is the Lakshana. So urgency. When Srila Prabhupada boarded the Jaladuta, he was in a sense of urgency to distribute this compassion. Despite his health, despite his situation, he took that risk. That you may have died in middle of the ocean, but he took that risk. So that is attraction for Krishna. So attraction for Krishna means we are willing to take any amount of risk, we are willing to take any amount of difficulty to please Guru and Krishna, dedicate and surrender our lives at the lotus feet of Krishna to accomplish his mission. Just like Ladini Mataji, in Africa, when they were about to be shot, these 10 devotees, when they were about to be shot, Ladini Mataji, she jumped in front of those devotees. Although the dictator said in this famous incident, devotees were rounded up by a dictator and they were about to be shot. And Ladini Mataji, he said, these two ladies, let's not kill them. The dictator said, let us kill the men. And when she was about to shoot the first man, She jumped in front of him without caring for her own life, and she got shot. Now, when you think of attraction for Krishna, we are thinking of so many. This is attraction for Krishna. Dinabandhu Prabhu was saying, Bhava, prema. What is prema mean? Prema doesn't mean I'm holding a rose and smelling and I'm in ecstasy. No. Prema means I'm willing to take all the risk in my life like Prabhupada took. That is prema. He took that boat. There is nobody to support him. His son came to drop him off. No Gaudiya Mutt came. Nobody came. No support. No money. But with all faith in Krishna, Srila Prabhupada went and he achieved the impossible. So this is prema. So in our lives, if we are willing to go through that difficulty, go through that, just like I was thinking of an example, sometimes devotees go through such a tough time, just like the Pandavas went through, and so many devotees went through. They go through such a tough time. So, but if you see, a charcoal becomes diamond when there is continuous pressure on the charcoal for a long amount of time. So Krishna, in the lives of devotees, he creates such situation because he wants to make them a diamond. If we have that prema, then yes, in between you go through toughness. He's testing your toughness and preparing you for something big. So it all depends on how much we are ready to surrender and take to his plan. And real attraction for Krishna means to sincerely have a desire to dedicate this one life and achieve the highest love of Godhead, which is achievable only by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Once in a day of Brahma, and we don't know how many lifetimes we have been in this universe. So this is our best chance, no matter where we are, to achieve this prema. So let us all take up this Krishna consciousness movement very, very seriously and study this Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita very sincerely, very deeply on a regular basis, and you will find that your heart will give you the greatest satisfaction. Hare Krishna. So I'll stop here. So any questions or comments, please let me know. Hare Krishna. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I was. No, I actually got inspired by Dinabandhu Prabhu when he was explaining prema. So you can explain different things, but he said this is prema. Prabhupada taking this risk. So I really got inspired by that one. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Mm-hmm.
The translation favors attraction Krishna of devotees on the platform of equality increases the love of God.
Okay.
The attraction of devotees on the platform of separation increases spontaneous attachment.
Mm-hmm.
So, love of God is higher than spontaneous attachment.
See, if we try to understand now spontaneous attachment, okay, let's read that. Shanta bhaktera rati bade prema paryanta dasya bhaktera rati haya Raga, Dasya, Anta. So here, prema is the highest goal, right? Prema Paryanta, up to love of Godhead and up to the point of spontaneous attachment. Now, when you are okay, if you read the next verse, it says devotees in Vrindavan who are friends of the Lord can increase their ecstatic love up to the point of anuraga. So paternal love can increase their love of Godhead up to the end of anuraga. So there is raga and anuraga. So actually here prema means the first level. So it's just a technicality of words. Okay, it's just a technicality of words because here you are seeing that Shanta Bhaktera Rati Bade. So their love goes up to prema. So prema raga, spontaneous attraction is higher than raga dasyanta, is higher than prema. So we can see